ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to International Film Festival Etiuda&Anima. My name is Paulina, and I'm really pleased to introduce you our next guest, the director of animation movie One Last Wish. Galia Osmo is here. Hello. So the full title of your animation movie is One Last Wish, based on what of this Goldfish would you wish by Etgar Keret. And
Right.
this is my first question to you. Or why Etgar Keret? Why did you decide to bring up this story live in animation movie?
I'm not sure. Maybe in Polish, the translation for the story is Goldfish. I'm not sure, but it might be. Um, the what drawn me to this story is the complex decision that Sergi, the main character, has to make. He has to choose whether to free his best friend, but then he will lose the only thing that matters to him, and he will become lonely. And I think this sacrifice the decision, this decision, the sacrifice that he has to make, it's what draws me to the movie, to the story.
Yeah, and that's the paradox. Am I right? Because Goldfish seems to be for his own wishes,
Yeah,
and in this story, the main character had to use his three wishes, or maybe two first wishes, to help the others. And the third
right.
situation also takes this opportunity away from him. So yeah, that's
Yeah, exactly. So he has a goldfish, and he already used two of his wishes to help other people. So now he's holding on his last wish for himself. I can tell like the a short description of the movie. I don't know if it will help because we're talking like
yeah. You
we'll,
can
we're
please do that if you would
okay.
like.
So the story is about a lonely fisherman, an immigrant who doesn't understand the language, and he doesn't fit in society. He has a goldfish, a magical goldfish, who is his only companionship. And one day, a young filmmaker knocks on his door and tells him that he wants to do a documentary, and film people ask them what they would wish for if they had a goldfish that gave him three wishes. But Sergi doesn't understand him, doesn't understand the language. But this filmmaker pushes himself into Sergi's house, looking around, and he noticed the goldfish, and he starts to be really excited. And he asks Sergi all kinds of questions really, really fast. And Sergi get really anxious and really afraid that he's going to hurt his only friend, his fish. So he grabs the nearest thing that he finds, a pan, and he hits this filmmaker. And the filmmaker drops down dead. Now his goldfish, his magical goldfish, starts talking to him and convincing him to use his last wish to to revive the filmmaker, to bring him back to life. And in doing so, the fish itself will also be free after he's, imprisoned in this jar of pickles for 10 years. But Sergi doesn't want to do it. He wants to, to save it to himself, his last wish. And we don't, they have this argument. And in this argument, we see how he used his two last wishes and helped other people. And then we see that Sergi is like empathic guy and he's really nice and he's helping other people, but never himself. And then we don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah,
And
yeah, and yeah.
and in the end, we see Jonathan. Jonathan is alive, the filmmaker, and he's talking about the movie and how he made it and what was good, and about Sergi, that it was so moving what he said. Then we see Sergi in his kitchen alone. The film jar is empty with no goldfish. and he's just saying that he would love to talk to the fish, not asking for anything, just have someone to talk to. And in the last titles, we see the fish is free in the sea. So that's the story. Yeah, and the dilemma that Sergi has, if to bring back this guy that he doesn't know, um, or be a murderer, which is absolutely is not a murderer. Um, but he doesn't want to lose the only thing that he has, his companionship, the fish. So
Yeah.
that's the
Thank
story, and that's what I like.
Okay, thank you for this sum up of your animation movie. And could you tell us, because whole this animation is,
Yeah.
I mean, did you adapt whole the Etgar Keret story, or did you make some cuts just to adapt it to the animation form?
Yes, so there are some things that I choose to keep from the story, like the cut in the end that we don't really see Sergim's making the decision, but we see what he actually did. Like we see Jonathan is alive, so that's something that was also in the original story that I kept. But there are some things I didn't keep. Um, because the story is very, is very short, and it's only 10 minutes. And then in order to get the ideas that I wanted, so I had to, keep it in one line. So for instance, I chose to make that Sergi is the main actor from the beginning. We know that Sergi is the main actor. In Edgar's story, it's really interesting, but we really think that Jonathan is actually the main character. And then when he dies, we understand that Sergi is the main character, which is really interesting. But for this short movie, it was a little bit complicated, to people to think it's Jonathan, and then no, it's Sergi. And there's a lot of things that I want to, uh, to show in the movie. So that was a little bit too much for the short amount of time.
Okay. And have you asked yourself what would you wish if you would have with your goldfish?
Yeah, so my answer is that I wish that the world would know to use our resources in a smart, sustainable way. That's what I wish.
Just only wish you have?
There's a lot of little wishes, but like if I had the goldfish now and I can make whatever, so I think I would choose that. That our world will have a future, a sustainable future, because yeah, it looks a little bit bad now.
That's true. Okay. Mm, I wanted to ask you about how did you create the character of Goldfish? He is
Yeah.
not a typical fairy tale vision of Goldfish. He is really mainly fish and has big eyes, and I found it really. I think that this persona can be a good character in a humoristic movie. It is. It gives to your animation a humoristic. Um,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I wanted to make the character, he's a little bit angry. He's a long time in, in a pickle jar, in a small apartment, and you only see Sergey, so he's a little frustrated. So I decided, I wanted to make him, to show his character and his face expressions, but also that he will be a fish, so it will be obvious that he is a fish. So I did decide to make these huge eyebrows that he had, and they are really helping making these expressions, I think, of his face. I actually has, I looked around for some fishes, and there's a kind of goldfish that I really like, that they have really big, big, big eyes. So that was like the inspiration for, this kind of fish with big eyes. And also like they have a really huge body with small fins. And I thought, yeah, it fits.
Okay, yes,
I
I
mean, it's
think.
not like the goldfish that had, the long fins and they're very, very classical. It's more like a little bit been there, done that. It has like, adventures,
Mhm.
experiences.
Okay,
So it's
can
a
you?
little bit rough.
Yeah, yeah, it was, it was. And can you tell us more about how you create, or how it was, how it looked, the animation process? Because um, how you develop the characters. I would like to highlight the um, main character face, his emotions.
Sergi,
Yeah, Sergi. Yeah, Sergi's
I have him
face.
here. I can bring him out.
Oh,
I
great.
have a little bit, but he's without eyes now. So there is no eyes and no eyebrows.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But his
But
mimic is very, yeah, his mimic is
very
almost like
expressive.
he's, yeah, very expressive and almost like whole his character. So please tell us something more about these puppets.
So I did search for a long time for how would they look like, and I have like the small, archetypes of Sergey. Um, I did get to this kind of shape, which is like small in the head and wider in the face, and Jonathan is actually the opposite. But for the expressions and for the animation, when I record the voice actor, his name is Gera Sandler. He's very, very good. He's very talented. And I filmed them at the same time. And then when the body and the face expression fits what I want to show in my directing, so I use it. But sometimes it wasn't quite what I wanted because I wasn't really directing the voice actors, only on the voice. So I film myself making the expressions that I want, directing myself, and then I transfer it in the animation to the character. So I don't know if it answers your question
Yeah, yeah.
about the process.
It is. It is about the puppet. Have you another puppets with you of another
No,
characters?
no, I just brought Sergio.
Okay, so Sergio is has a special place in your apartment right now.
Well, I have them all, but they are in boxes. So I took out, and I can explain how he's made if you want.
Yeah, please, please tell us about the construction inside of this body.
So he has a metal skeleton that I purchased, I think, from a company in England. Most of the puppets actually has only aluminum wire, but the main characters, Sergi and Jonathan, the filmmaker, they both act a lot in the movie. So I purchased from them professional skeletons, not like custom made, but they are more strong, and I can change if a hand or a leg is broken or released. I can change them more easily than the aluminum wire. And then there's like foam inside, and in with the foam, I really sculptured it how it's supposed to look outside of the shirt. So it's not really a body. It's like the shape of how the body would look with the fabric flowing on it, and this part is glued, so it's not moving. And then all the clothes I made, so I sew them or sewn them, I don't know. And the hands are from silicone with wires inside, so they can be moved. The head is from super scalpy, So it's kind of like Fimo. You can sculpt it and then bake it. Then it's colored. For the mouth, I have mouth pieces. Like each character have like 12 to 20 mouth pieces with magnets, and then they connect and snap to the place. So most of the puppets have hair, which is made of eye clay. So it has a little bit of movement, but not too much. And Sergey doesn't have hair, but he has his hat.
Okay, thank you, Galia. I think that we will have to finish our conversation now. But thank you for that whole description and that you show us Sergey. And I must say that it was really nice to see how you touched this puppet, and because we had the feeling that actually this is a living being, you know, when you
Yeah.
were touching Sergey. So thank you for
Mm.
that. And together with us was Galia Osmo, author of the animation movie One Last Wish, film
Thank you.
based on Etgar Keret's novel. So thank you again.
Thank you for having me.